are live. Yay.
I love it. I love it. And I love the title today, How I Love the Sweet Things in Life. There is a song by a Canadian band with that title.
There is?
Yes. Yes.
Ah.
The lyrics are really it's a bit distorted when you listen to it. And then the lyrics are a bit more clear and they help oh, there we go. Do I have it? No. Let me find them. Oops. There we go. Lyrics. Don't need the chords.
Unless you're going to start strumming my pain with his fingers,
Right?
my life with his words.
Oh my God. Yeah. No, 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 no. I'm not doing that. And is it going to give me, okay, I had to scroll down. I like that. The lyrics read, there's nobody home. You're all by yourself. And all of the cookies are still on the shelf. Your mama's out, your dad's at the races, and nothing to stop you from filling your
Filling your
faces.
face. I listened to this morning.
Yeah. I said, whoa, how you love the sweet things in life. And I mean, and then it talks if nobody's watching, you go like how nobody hears you in your room as you choke. You feel a bit dizzy. You don't know you're high now. It's just the beginning, a piece of the pie. Like it was just such a beautiful um, melody in my mind that helped me understand the 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 nectarine message that I got. So I woke up this morning and I was eating a nectarine in my dream, and it was this tasting the sweet things in life. Now we don't all like nectarines.
No.
And we've got so much contrast in the world right now. Hmm. What do we like? What don't we like? I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday and I told her how much I adore listening to Russell Brand, the British fella. You do?
I like him very much. Very much.
He was not on the same page with me as to how appealing he is. I really, there's something about him that just makes me go, hmm. And I like the way that loose fitting shirt, a little bit of a chest showing. I mean, I'm not enamored with him, but I find him intriguing because he's a
I do too,
sloppy
because
shirt.
first of all, he's very, very smart.
Oh, so brilliant and articulate. He
Right.
enunciates well. I love those who enunciate well. And I don't agree with everything that he says. How can I possibly agree with anything anybody says? That takes away from me. If I begin nodding with everything that's said, I'm back in the boardroom with that Monday morning meeting.
Now, for me, Monday morning is the words Monday morning memory.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, one of the things I did with my students was first thing Monday morning, stop. It was a little difficult for those who didn't like to write, but they were just allowed to draw a picture when they were little. Any memory could be from the weekend, it could be, but just to stop and kind of take stock and think. So we actually kept a book called Monday Morning Memories. And at the end of the year, we would try to put it in order to see what people were thinking of in their order. It was also to see how their writing had changed over time. And so it so for me, a Monday morning meeting isn't like a board meeting. It was the memory. Okay, that's what we're going to do is Monday morning memories. Just anything, because it was also about being mindful. the sweet things in life. Stop for a minute before we start our school week and, think about something that you enjoyed, or it didn't have to be a happy memory. Most of the time, that's what people picked, you know. And if something happened that weekend or a child was upset, sometimes it would be in their memory, and sometimes it would be a way to be away from that, especially children who kind of live between two homes. It was another way to transition, keep track of. Um, so yes, I'm thinking about Mr. Brandt. I really have always enjoyed him. And he speaks very quickly, but
Yes.
enunciate. And again, it's the intelligence, it's the memory. He makes me think, and things that make me think, whether it's memories, are things I enjoy. That is a sweet thing in life. Things
It
that make
is.
me think.
But those memories, I was talking with Becky Norwood, who has been with the publishing of my memoir, and Spirit suggested that she watch a movie, and it was Michelle Pfeiffer, and I saw White Flower O. So I'm like, okay, Michelle Pfeiffer flower white is what I Googled. White oleander. What an amazing movie and book. Amazing. It talks to the mental malaise of characters, the things that this woman struggled with and her lineage of struggles. We barely break that thin layer on a boiled egg. Like there's the shell, and then there's that membrane around the egg. We barely break the membrane of getting to know a person in this lifetime outside of ourselves, even ourselves.
Even ourselves, we don't always get, because as we evolve, as we travel, I was thinking about that. I was listening to a conversation like this between two people I know, and I posted it this morning, and it was called On the Cusp.
Mm.
And talking about the cusp of knowing things are coming, again, that whole idea of breaking my own membrane. And someone said, some people put away for retirement because they are taking care of themselves very young. Now, I didn't do that. And it was also because I didn't know myself, and some other people, that is not their progression, is not my progression. But that was a very interesting thought about saving for retirement. It was that I see myself wanting things to do and need to do. And I'm like, it's
Yeah.
just a different way of getting to know myself. I didn't think about that when I was younger. Not that I didn't think about, now my husband always thought about retirement. I did not.
Hmm.
You know, I just kind of worked and went, did different things, and I still am that way. Oh, that sounds good. Let me go this way. Oh, that sounds good. Let me go this way. I have a little more forethought now about things because physically I want to keep going and moving and being.
Mhm.
And um, so that is more of a forethought, because I watch people my own age start to get more and more limited. And, I definitely am more cautionary. I don't fling my body around like I once did. Um,
Oh gosh, there's a difference in the way my muscles feel. I went for a massage yesterday and she was working the psoas muscle group, which is the only group of muscles that begins in the back area, continues around the outside of the body, and comes into the forefront. So it goes back around the hip into the groin area, and it's one family of muscles. And I didn't realize that. And then the more that we were talking and the more that she was softening that muscle area, the more I realized, oh, wow, that pain that I get once in a while in the front area, that's the back. So, in strengthening my body, my core, that is where my focus is on strengthening my core, that is going to help with that area of tension in my body.
hmm.
Tension.
Yep. Again, the sweet things in life, my body moving, being able to move, doing things, that for me has become bigger focus to be aware of it, especially as I see other people become more limited.
Oh
And I'm
gosh, yes, yes, yes. That's why I began doing yoga when I was in my 30s, because I let the older people in my life, and I'm like, oh God, please help me find a way to bypass the moan, groan, and complain brigade. I
yeah.
want to celebrate my life. And my stepmom's aunt continued teaching yoga into her 90s. So that gave me an avatar.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Um, to be able to access the sweet things in life, to hike, to do those things.
Mhm.
I've not been always a very for thinking person. And some of that has been to learn to be in this space.
Oh
Um,
boy.
there's a big balance in there. If I want to talk about the sweet things in life, there's a balance. How do I enjoy the now, you know, and get out of a worry mindset? That's actually what the conversation was about this morning in that I
Mhm.
listened to with Sheila Williams and Denai, no, and just how, when you're on the cusp, how do we look at the cusp? How do we create our reality to cross over the cusp and be stepping into what it is we need to do? So my cusp in this situation would be wanting to make sure my body is moving. Am I moving my body? Or do I see, oh, that's just part of life? And there is a definite piece in my head that says, oh, that's just part of getting older. There is a piece of that. And it's
Well,
different.
there's a reality in getting older. There
Hmm.
are changes that our body develop. There's changes when a woman has a baby, her body expands. The ability to go back into that same physical body, some do differently.
My feet did not do differently. My feet was different. you know, the weight of my feet absolutely got bigger after pregnancy. They did not go back.
Wow, your feet? For me, it was my rib cage and my assets.
Um, my feet, because of the weight and I'm a very short waisted person, and
Okay.
so pregnancy, I had a lot of acid reflux, a lot of, because the baby was sitting under my assets, and his foot.
Okay.
I mean, I remember standing there pushing his foot
Yeah.
out of my rib cage, you know. Um,
Yeah.
um, he was a big baby. I did gain more weight than I probably would have wanted to, and I just gained the weight I gained. And so when
Oh,
I was
the tale of eating for two.
yeah, well, and when I was done, um, my feet were bigger. I
Yes,
could not get back in my shoes.
that is so interesting.
Hmm.
Everyone's experience with the beautiful birthing of children, or the beautiful university, whatever career we choose, whatever path we choose in the many directions, is so different. Me, when I went to university, I went to an open learning university, and I learned by distance long before virtual learning was within the electronics. I had my documents mailed to me. I had to take my term papers, put them in an envelope, and mail them to my teacher. There was no email. There was mail. And then I had to
Hmm.
wait for it to come. It was very different, and I loved it. I loved it. I felt very honored to have so much care and attention given to me because I did do distance learning.
Oh, that is nice. It's very nice. You
Yeah,
know,
I had a prof. He was mine.
you
Shoot.
know.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
And I wanted to experience being in a big auditorium as well. So that's where workshops came into play for me. I wanted to go to workshops.
I went to I know we were the largest physical single campus in the country at the time. I don't know if that's been surpassed, and I think we were the second or third largest university in the country.
Which university?
Michigan State University, Spartans.
Right.
And we had 45,000 undergrads.
Oh my God. That feels, that's more, 45,000 undergrads are more bodies in the stadium where the Eskimos, now they're called Elks, where the Eskimos played when I went to see them. Now that the Elks play there, not as many people will go. I don't know. Maybe it's because they don't know what to do. Because how do you cheer for an elk? Like, what does an elk do? What does an elk say? I don't know. But like 45,000, I think the maximum capacity is 60. You had more undergraduates.
Mm-hmm.
Then
Well,
you
we
had,
had 20, well, that one year it was almost 22,000 people living just in the dormitory system.
oh my God.
Huge amount of dormitories. Yeah, it was a large university. So I'd gone to a private school, Catholic private school, until 10th grade. My high school was, I think it was 125 at one point, 4 years. And then I transferred. My father remarried. My mother had passed away, remarried. We moved. First, I transferred to my local public high school that I had grown up in. I was only there for a short period of time. I loved the place, though. I wish I had finished more time there, and that was not to be. And then we moved to another public high school when my parents uh, finally got a house and moved us all together. And it was, I think there were 525 in my graduating class. So, I mean, it was from one to the other. And I enjoyed the anonymity of the largeness. And so, where did I go to school? As large a university as I could find, because you could go from one part of campus to another and be just a different human being. And,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
and that was important for me because in order for me to look at different things in life, experience the sweeter things, I had been kind of pegged and put in a role. And also because my home life had been, as a child, my mother was sick from the time I was in second grade till she passed away after I was in seventh grade.
Mhm.
And so that was the focus. And so I really never thought about the sweeter things in life or how to expand myself or think about those things. We were in a different level of survival. I am grateful for my ability to absolutely tune stuff out because I did.
Oh, me too. Me too. I could sit and study. My mom and my boyfriend at the time were watching television, building puzzles together. I was able to study anywhere, anytime. I needed to, in order for me to go to college, I took a bus to the LRT system, which was a subway. And then from there, I traveled on the LRT. And then from there, I took another bus. And after school, I went and worked downtown. So I took another bus. I mean, I spent more time in public transportation than I did in public school because I was a skipper in grade 10. And there was so much that I was able to accomplish by reading, studying, writing, tuning out the world. And I would go to the library, sit on the ground. I've always been able to tune out sound. And yet, certain sounds really affect me. The tone of voice, oh man, light her up.
Oh, yeah, that's an activating thing. And when we look at tone of voice, we are interpreting. There is a judgment when because sometimes people's tone of voice has absolutely nothing to do with them and always has to do with where they are in their head.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Worry? I wasn't.
Now I'm thinking about it.
Now I'm
Um,
thinking about it.
and that's, for me, I'm not a person of noise, which is interesting having been a teacher. I had quiet classrooms. I was able to tune out a lot of things as a kid. Um, including, I suppose there was bullying going around. I suppose there was, things maybe directed at me. I also know I was the kid whose mom was dying. The only one who didn't know that was me. And well, my brothers and sisters for sure.
Mhm.
And obviously on some intuitive level, you know. Um, and so when people talk about being bullied and all of these things, I had completely found my place in space with kind of the fringe folks who probably were much more aware of the social norms. I was a little numb, just a little numb, because there was so much going on in my real life that to buy into that school piece, school was about learning, school was about, you know, um, getting to know yourself. And I was very quiet, and probably flew a lot under the radar, but it wasn't a conscious thing. And I'm
No.
I'm very grateful for that. It has had its price in our topic, how I love the sweet things in life. Me actually paying attention to what those could be. You know, I, I definitely, when I started to pay attention, kind of bought into the things that were outside of me. But I didn't pay attention probably until I was 13, 14 years old. And by then,
Mm.
there were already many established things that I didn't know I wasn't a part of. Yay! Like, you
Oh,
know
very true. I was blessed to have been bullied. I was bullied really fiercely in grade six, and grade six was the first year of junior high, so middle school for me. And I was foam. I was pushed, like pushed by the girls. My books would fall. They'd land in the mud. I would cry. And the bullies did not understand the limited resources available within my family. Mom could not afford more books. Well, my mom was a single parent. She was disabled. There was no way my mom, and I would get into trouble. And for me, trouble didn't mean I would get a smack or a spanking. I would get a lecture, and I would be made to feel guilty.
right,
And I
because you
did
already
not
knew that the resources were limited, and now you were putting more
Mhm.
stress on a system.
Putting more stress on my mom. Yeah, my mom, the system.
The system.
The system. Yeah. I mean, my mom would buy me clothes that I hated, pleated jeans. So I got a job so I could buy my own jeans. 3 jobs when I was going to college. 3.
Hmm.
When I was pregnant with my first son, Jarrett, I worked as a temporary secretary because I had quit my job to go back to university. And then I found out I was pregnant. So I'm like, well, looks like things are changing. So I was a temporary secretary, office to office, day after day. And I also was the weenie wench. So I sold hot dogs outside of a bar every night. So I would go into the office in the morning and people were like, it smells like hot dogs or it smells like onions. And I would just kind of, that was
Mhm.
me. It was terrible. Oh, it just like it was absorbed
Oh, yeah.
into my pores, every pore in my body. I stunk
Yeah.
like a hot dog. And that created a tremendous resiliency inside of me. Huge.
And I think that's the key to this, the how you love the sweet things in life. I'm even gone back to, I've even gone back to wanting to, go back and revisit some of those things that somebody would have said have brought me trauma, um, and look at that energy, because I really didn't know how to access the sweet things in life. It's taken me to my 60s to go, oh. It's not that I didn't enjoy myself, but to do it with intention. And I think that that's what the topic becomes. Your intention was obviously not to smell like hot dogs, but was to find, but back then it was what we did. And I know that that's such a harder concept for people who've grown up after this generation of, no, you know what? It's not what I do anymore. To say to them, and that has its issues too. There was something also very nice and predictable about where we went. And
Mhm.
to understand the sweet things in life are really an internal job. It's how I look at them. Like you said, I what you learned from your bullying, what I learned from having a limited childhood is a big shift from where I used to be about that. It was I can see in my bus stop conversation why it was a bargain, you know?
Oh, truly, to understand the meaningful purpose, the lesson, the experience, the expansion, what did I come here to learn, is such a profound and pivotal experience. So
Yes.
many people don't understand what their bus stop conversation is. They don't know what a bus stop conversation is. I have always nearby my astrology chart. And I've got that astrology chart so that I can look at the complexity. Oh, yeah, that's complex of my life, and to learn more
The
and more
details
and
of
more.
your map.
Yeah, yeah, because right now you mentioned that I was listening to your September forecast, and you mentioned that Uranus is retrograde. And for me, Uranus is in Libra. I relate my partnerships, my agreements, my relationships.
Mhm. And wanting to have balance, figuring out what the balance is. And um, so for those who are watching who don't know what we're referring to as the bus stop conversation, before you come and assemble the energies that you are and have been and will be, all of them together, you have a conversation about what the possible outcomes are that you would like to learn about, see, be, repair. This is a very interesting lifetime for those of us, especially from about 40 on. We have absolutely come to let go of a lot of programmed energy that has been present on this planet, um, very much in this awakening time. And so, in this bus stop conversation, I kind of put together a map and a tool belt with my own legend. That's what I would call that. And
Yeah.
take a look at these are the things I signed up for. Now, that doesn't mean, because for some people, well, I attracted to what's wrong with it's not about wrong. It's about how do I learn from this? How do I understand where the sweet things in life are? And it comes internally first. And especially during these retrograde kinds of time where we're rearranging internally. Here's my map. Here are things I came to do. Now, my Uranus energy, what house is that for you?
For me, it is in my 11th house.
So, of friends and blessings. And so, this is
Mhm.
the area her bus stop conversation kind of returns to. It's not the only area awakening happens to, because that's Uranus, or Uranus, however you want to say it. Um, that is not only the area in her life this happens, but this is kind of the ground zero of that area, and it's in friends and breast and blessings. And there's a awakening and chaos for you in finding the balance. Shocking.
Shocking, right?
Yeah.
Shocking. I a person from my past who I had a very um, important relationship with, important in that she was the lady who was with me when my son Jarrett was born. She cut the cord. And we had moved into different directions in our lives. and to have a light shone on who we were and who we've become, there's a great big gap between the two. And because I am blessed with so many incredible relationships in my life, those who understand where I'm at right now have given me a wide berth, like huge. They're like, okay, I know you're busy, and can we connect tomorrow?
Right.
Oh, you've got a lot on your plate, and I respect that. Is it okay if we can schedule a call for this evening? It's not that, oh, I know you're busy, Kitty. It's not that. It's not that very fart of guilt that can sometimes be a part of friendships.
Yes.
Those are the tugboat friendships I call in life because they tug you back. Like I we this is some of the busiest times in our lives. Summertime, the fall harvest of life,
Mm-hmm.
man, challenging. AF. All fortunate.
Yeah.
Challenging, all fortunate. And it's challenging AF, the other one too, the one that makes you want to pull out your hair. Which friends are with you on the boat, helping you paddle on the way, and without needing to be acknowledged and recognized? One of my greatest gifts that I have beside my desk is this little tiny clip, FUCK.
Mm-hmm.
My girlfriend gave it to me, and it's got a little clip on it, and the man gave me her last FUCK, and it makes me giggle. I love friendships that bring humor into the playing field of life. I love friendships that remind me that I'm human. It's okay. It's okay, Nance. It's okay.
Well, that's
I
why I
love
sent you that one clip this today. That thing. You know how we're supposed to just go with it. You know, and sometimes I tell myself to go with it, and then what comes out of my mouth? You know.
yeah,
Yeah. So, and it,
absolutely.
and it is the sweeter things in life are when you find a groove. For me, and you find people who help you stay in that groove, challenge you to be in that groove, and not suck away your energy on all kinds of other horse minutia. Now that doesn't mean people don't go through periods where they need you more because of tragedies, things going on. I have a couple friends right now,
Oh,
one we have mutually, who is navigating something none of us, you especially, ever wish to have been in that club. You know it, and then I just heard from another friend yesterday, that she, her ex, but she has children with them. They're young adults, but they're adults. All right.
mhm,
um, Passed away, and she got some more information about how he passed away, and that complicated all of the things.
mm,
um, and leaves her dealing with her children. They're still her children, and
yeah.
she actually said to me, they only have one parent left. I got to get healthy.
And that's it too. That's it too. When you realize that your health steering not just your personal human vehicle, it's also steering the entire parade.
Yep.
The entire parade.
Yep.
That's a tremendous amount of responsibility. And it doesn't mean that you have to clean up your act all in one day.
Yep.
There
Yeah.
are little things that you can do every day. I didn't have coffee yesterday morning when I woke up. I had no coffee. I had an intention of getting coffee on the weekend. I knew I was getting down to the last one scoop, two scoop. Uh-oh, I won't have coffee when I wake up. And I could have chosen to chariot myself off to Walmart and get some coffee. Instead, I chose some black tea with bergamot, and it was like true black tea soaked in bergamot essential oils. So bergamot is the it's a beautiful conductive essential oil because it will your body will do with it what it needs. So if you're looking for more calm, your body will adapt to that. It's an adaptogen. So it was the perfect tea to get me to the gym yesterday. I went and I walked on the treadmill. I rode on the bike. I did the strength training that my osteopath specifically designed for me and my core. Hmm. And then I went and got coffee. I went and bought 8 pounds of coffee. It was on sale. What an opportunity. Had I not been without coffee, I wouldn't have been to the store on the day it was on sale. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Today I have a few more unexpected events in my life. They are not going to throw me off my course.
No, no, this is the flexibility of things. I'm sitting here with the same thing. I don't know if you can hear, but my
Yeah. Ding,
thing is
ding, ding,
going
ding, ding.
ding, 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 ding off. So I'm going to probably say at 45 minutes, hey, Nance, as much as I love our hour, it's just sometimes we just pivot. And that's to
Yes.
love the sweet things in life, to go, you know what? This is what's happening. I mean, like I said, you could hear it.
Yes. And to surround yourself with people that love, understand, encourage, and check in later. If the friends you have are not friendships that are checking in on you,
Mm-hmm.
what's going on? Can you check in on them? And how many check ins are necessary before you check out just for today, just for
Right.
this month?
Just for today. And the sweet things in life are, I have been blessed in my life with amazing friends, always navigating with amazing friends. And so, even this year, I recently went through something that was like, oh, I didn't go through it. Go back to our uh, conversation about school. I didn't go through it. So there was a piece that Spirit says, well, you still need the lessons of what that felt like. So I got to go through it at 63, you know?
Yeah,
Um, and, but the sweet thing in life is I know what it's like to have good friends. I think that that's a harder time when you're younger, because if a friend betrays you, that can become something you look for in a pattern versus me who goes, oh, it's on you, sweetie, eventually. First, I try to
yeah.
solve it because I am a good friend. I've always been a friend to help solve. And
Mhm.
I know when it clicks, it clicks. And when it turns off, we have people in our lives for a reason, a season, and a lifetime.
Very true, very true. And I think that one of the things that I help people navigate with, that I've really been working on helping people navigate with in the last 8 weeks is okay, this is the reality of what has happened.
Yes.
Where is your PowerPoint? What can you do? Shaming yourself? I should have. Okay. Is it possible to go back and change it? No. What can you do here, now, in this moment? I love, please remind me of what that beautiful acronym is. Um, have you eaten, rested, slept?
Halt. Hungry, angry, lonely, tired. You need to halt.
Hungry, angry, lonely, oops,
Tired.
tired.
Mm-hmm.
I
Um,
love I
yep.
love that. I mean, are you hungry? Have you eaten?
Yes.
Correct? Angry? Are you angry?
Are you angry? Is something bothering you? You're out of alignment. You have to deal with it. I have to feel the feeling. I can't just keep going through it, because what happens when you go through anger like that? It, first of all, gets bigger, and then you hide it somewhere else when it comes out. You go, "Ooh, I hit an anger pocket," um, you
Mhm,
know,
mhm.
and lonely. I feel like I just need company. It can be a dog. It can be, and tired. If I'm tired, I'm weary. I remember truly listening to someone talk about the only thing I could figure out I felt grateful for. She was so tired, was the warm water that was running over my hands. And sometimes I remember that when I'm feeling, and I just go wash my hands and enjoy the feeling of the warm water over
Mhm.
my
Mhm.
hands and practice that gratitude, and it is something that, especially when you work with human beings, if they're hungry, angry, lonely, or tired, they have to halt before anything goes forward, before they can access the sweeter things in life. And the halt becomes the sweeter thing. I got to take care of
Yes,
this.
it does.
Um,
Yes, it does. It really truly does. I remember last thing for me, and then we'll say adieu. I was sitting in my manager's office because I was sequestered into her office. I was told to stay there until she came back. She had to dash off to deal with a crisis, and I understood the crisis. It was very important to her, so I sat in her office, and I was unable to do anything. I didn't want to walk around her office and snoop. So I reached over and I grabbed paper clips. They were the beautiful, colorful paper clips, the ones that are colored with plastic that I so enjoy. I really like the colorful ones. They grip better on paper. That's why I like them. Plus, they're colorful. And I sat and just clipped them together like this. And I clipped them all together. Didn't go so well. About an hour later, when she went to pull a paperclip out of her little bin of paper clips. And there was a corporate wide announcement demanding that whoever was in her office with the paper clips come right back. And I'm like, that was me. And I simply grabbed a box of paper clips. Like I had a stand. I was in charge of all the supplies. Well, me and another lady. And I simply grabbed that big bin, the one in the middle and all the different colors on the outside. And I carried it in. And I said, these are yours, Carol. My apologies. While I was waiting in your office, that's what I did to help me focus and concentrate on what needed to be done. We agreed that I would never do it again. And I never did it again.
wow. You know, there's just so many things and
It's
why.
meditative. It's meditative for me.
Well, and for God bless her, Carol, as opposed to just unclip a paperclip. The amount of energy she surrounded herself with
Mhm.
about paper clips, she could have just said, "Hey guys, please don't play with stuff on my desk," and moved on from it. You know,
Emily took paper clips and made necklaces out of them.
yes, right.
That's,
And
that's where that's where the joy came from for me. And I explained that to her a few days later when the storm had calmed,
when she was out of the angry,
out of the angry. Yeah. And the tired. I mean, I've worked with some people in offices and they're literally asleep during meetings. And I'm like, God bless you. Oh, that's not
yeah,
healthy.
hungry, angry, lonely, or tired, halt. I mean, I used to teach even my students that. you know Sometimes we aren't as good at being. The other thing I always taught the students was the acronym for think, um, and that helped with halt, um, because people, especially that let go, think is, before I say something, is it thoughtful, is it helpful, is it either inspirational or important, is it necessary, and is it kind? Let me go through those before I speak. And if I say yes to one of those, that, or no, it's not necessary, um, then I would say, now think about halt. Is it coming through because you're hungry, you're angry, you're lonely, or you're tired? Solve that before you speak.
Yes, yes. And it's moment, minute by minute, breath by breath. Check in right here for a second. And are you breathing? Like just
Oh yeah, I hold my breath. Yeah, sometimes. Yeah. when I was going through this bullying earlier this year, adult women, go figure.
Mm,
Um, and when I was going through it, I would find myself holding my breath often,
mhm,
and um, again, back to think. I think that's one reason though I never really would have thought of myself as being bullied as a kid, I definitely tried to be vanilla sometimes. And I learned to say things like, if there was a cute guy, oh, he's cute, but he's out of my league. What the hell was that? I don't remember how I learned that, but I would say it.
appeasement, appeasing others. I
Mhm.
caught myself last week being angry here and then justifying being angry in here, like telling the person I was angry at all the things I had done to make their life easier.
Yes. Yep. Well, and
Wow.
that's a definite out of balance halt for me when I start running through scenarios in my head. I don't know. Well, and I'm having a conversation with another human being in my head. I call them
Well,
scenarios.
they'll make me lose my mind up in
Right.
here, right? And
Yes.
they are not controlling my mind.
They are, and I'm having a conversation with them without them being present,
They're not
literally
even
getting mad at
here.
them. Right. And going back to the sweeter things in life, if I'm running a scenario, how am I now turn my self away from something sweet in life? If I have something to say to them, then let me say it so that I can stay in a sweeter thing in life. Once I say it, I'm not responsible for how they react to it. I am responsible for how I deliver it, you know,
Yes. Yes.
and
And that's where that pause comes in. Take a breath, take a moment, ground your ass, your feet, your hands somehow. Just
I am not responsible for how they receive it. If they're defensive, they have now the halt, the think responsibility,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah.
Um, and it isn't perfect. We're not perfect.
Nope.
So again, but I do think there is a key to when I spend my time in the sweeter things in life, rather than running the scenario, rather than blah blah blah. Hi, Dusty. Rather than doing all of those things, not running the scenario, um, and that's when, if I'm going down a well, I take that friend and a flashlight. You know,
Absolutely. Absolutely. One last thing, and then we'll be ta-da.
um,
See you later.
Especially, I'm going to say to my friend Dusty, who's on, she was a friend and a flashlight during some of the crazier things this year. Definitely.
Good. Good. Having
Those
those
are
friends
those
in
are ride
survival.
and die people,
Oh,
when
absolutely. The ride and dies. So, a message for us all from the swear formations deck. So, swear, no, but no, my body is a temple that is indestructible.
my body is a effing temple that is indestructible. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Treat it as such. Honor your body. Honor it. Take care of it.
Honor
Please.
it and honor the people who honor you. There is, and I want to say thank you to my dear friend Dusty. Honor the people who honor you.
Yeah.
Um, So, because your body is an effing temple, and anybody who is doing something, and it doesn't have to be physical, it can be emotional, it can be, you know, if they're not helping me get into the sweeter things in life, that doesn't mean we don't have things to talk about or sad times. It means, what is it I want to accomplish, be, and see so that I can tap in to the sweeter things in life.
Yeah.
Um, you know, honoring, in order for me to honor it, I surround myself with people who also honor it. And,
Mhm.
you know, sometimes when people say, well, they tell it like it is, well, so does my drunk uncle at Thanksgiving. But it's only from his perspective. And if it's not making my life sweeter, and if it's not honoring me, then is it telling it like it is? Do I
Is it necessary? Is it necessary? Is it
think,
kind? Is it
right?
absolute? Is it
Right.
absolute?
Is it thoughtful? Is it helpful? Is it inspirational, important that you have to say it? As soon as somebody says, well, I just have to say, do you? Stop for a minute. Do you really just have to say this? And if
Mhm.
the sentence doesn't start with, I feel, then you didn't need to say it. You
Yes.
know, uh, you know, I just have to say, I don't like that outfit. You didn't have to say that. You could have said, it's not my favorite. I mean, again, is it inspirational? Is it necessary? Do I need to tell you I don't like your hair? Can I just zip it, sister?
Yeah,
And is
yeah.
it kind? And if it's not, if you are answering no to any of those, think again. What is it I want to say? Is it about me? And again, to honor myself, I need to be able to have people that help me honor. I don't need people to make me feel worse. I got that down pat. So,
Well, in criticism, was it requested? Did I ask you for your input?
mhm, right.
Input is a different thing. Criticism,
Yeah. You know, I've been thinking this month has a lot astrologically, especially this first 5 days. Something is
mhm,
big next week, somewhere around 9/11 to about 9/17. There are things in a pathway that are unfolding rather rapidly. And we are sitting here, even in that last new moon, looking at the pieces of our mosaic and going, no, yeah, there's lots of things I'm moving forward with. What are the pieces I'm keeping? And that includes the people. Are they honoring me? And honoring doesn't mean they do what I say, it means they at least show up to say, hey, I want you to help. I want you to be the best version of you. Let me help you be the best version of us together.
yes.
And, and it's not about they're bad people. It's just sometimes the energy does not work. Again, we have people in our life for a reason, a season, and a lifetime.
They're like foods, Kitty. We
Yeah.
don't develop intolerances to milk overnight. Sometimes we become lactose intolerant because we've been sucking from the tit of the cow for too long and we just need a break.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, in order to, how I love the sweet things in life is how I love myself. And therefore I spread that. So I think that's a good thing to end on, don't you?
I think it is. Spread joy, um,
And
and love and
astrologically,
honesty.
this week is a day to be with what brings you those sweet things in life. Really realize what is the energy I've created around me and the people I continually draw to me and the ones I want to support. And, if I'm rolling my eyes when the phone rings, there's an issue I need to address. So,
Yeah,
you know,
so very, very true. Yeah, well, enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. We will
have
touch
a great
base
day.
very soon. Thanks
All right.
everyone for tuning in. Have a
Bye bye.
magical rest of your day. Bye.